Tonight on 12 News at 5, a section of Jarvis Street will be closed to make a much-needed bridge repair. We tell you how long the road will be closed and which bridge is being prepared. Plus, the State University of New York will receive a grant to help more students fill out financial aid forms. We tell you how the grant is being used, and a popular fundraiser is back, raising money for a family in need. This and more starting right now.
From WBNG, the Southern Tier's #1 local news. This is 12 News at 5.
Good evening and thank you for joining us this Friday. I am Zach Grady. A section of Jarvis Street between Charlotte and Clinton Street is set to be closed to repair the Jarvis Street Railroad Bridge, which is owned by Norfolk Southern. It is part of a wider project where the company agrees to repair bridges around the city of Binghamton. The company agreed to pay for the repairs after a 900-page report was released determining 15 bridges owned by the company were in severe or poor condition. According to Binghamton Mayor Jared Cram, the company released a detailed plan to fix the bridges, including the one on Jarvis Street. The project is expected to be completed by mid-November. Detours will be in place during construction. In Broome County, a Binghamton man has been found guilty of rape. On June 24th of last year, 40-year-old Willis Bickham Jr. took a 12-year-old into an apartment at 2 Green Street in Binghamton and engaged in sexual intercourse. Bickham Jr. was found guilty of first-degree rape. He was also found guilty of forcibly touching and endangering the welfare of a child. Bickham Jr. is facing up to 25 years in prison, followed by 10 to 25 years of supervised release. The Broome County DA's office will also be pursuing a sentence of 25 years to life under the persistent felony offender guidelines due to his criminal history. Regardless of the sentence, he will be required to register as a sex offender. His sentencing is scheduled for October 24th. The Broome County District Attorney's Office is currently taking applications for school resource officers to help protect schools in the local area. Susquehanna Valley High School is looking to fill the position before the school year starts after their longtime school resource officer has entered retirement. Broome County District Attorney Paul Batiste said they are actively looking for qualified candidates to hire for the job.
We have an incredible individual who's the SRO at one of those schools, high schools, and he's retired. So we need a new SRO for that school in the high school to start in September when school comes back in. So we're actively and aggressively campaigning to be out in the community and try to recruit the best qualified individual to fill that position.
The Broome County DA's office recently announced the expansion of the SRO program back in May, pledging to add a program at Bosse's East Learning Center. The State University of New York announced they received a $500,000 grant from ECMC that will help their communications efforts to get more students to fill out their FAFSA forms for the school year. The federal aid application process was held up after it was revamped and relaunched this year, which then brought glitches to the system that delayed students from being able to fill out their forms. Because of this, SUNY Chancellor John B. King says the state is 12% behind on applications from where they were this time last year.
So the big challenge for the country is that the free application for federal student aid, the FAFSA, was changed this year by the federal government. That delayed the launch of the FAFSA, and it resulted in some technical glitches early on that were a real challenge. And so as a country, we're about 12% behind in FAFSA completion.
According to the National College Attainment Network, the 2023 high school class left more than $4 billion in Pell Grants nationwide unclaimed by not completing their FAFSA. New York, nearly $226 million was left unclaimed. The Tioga County Fair is still accepting applications for vendors ahead of its August 6th through August 10th run dates. Businesses interested in seeing the application form can go to TiogaCountyFair.com. It can be filled out or emailed or dropped off at the offices between 4:30 and 6:30 this or the following week. 12 News spoke to the Tioga County vendor chairperson about the impact of being a vendor at the fair and how it can help a business.
You get to interact with the people. It's a pretty low-cost venue to get your name out there, to get your people out there, and to interact with people and find out what their needs are and how you can better serve them as well as they can help you.
The fair has a limited number of spots remaining. Fair charges vendors $15 per frontage foot, up to $150 for a 10-foot space to set up in. Due to safety concerns, the village of Waverly is considering a village-wide ban on camping. The Waverly police chief says the consideration is out of concern for residents of the village, given that a popular park in the village borders a state park. Chief Russell Busink says New York State has a ban on camping in state parks, and Waverly's Glen Park sits aside a state park. The village says their laws would match the state's if the ban goes into effect. 12 News spoke to the chief about the proposal.
This summer, we've had several individuals coming in requesting to go up there and camp, and we just want to make sure, out of safety, if someone does get up there, they get into a potential hazardous situation, the rescue efforts can be quite difficult.
Busink added the proposal for the ban is very new, and the chances of it being passed still remain unknown. A local church in Shenango County is raising money for repairs. The fundraiser will be held on July 31st from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Dusty's Dairy Bar. Funds raised will go towards steeple and roof repairs at the Broad Street United Methodist Church in Norwich. The 150-year-old church will get a percentage from sales that evening. 12 News spoke about the importance of the fundraiser.
It's very generous. They're very generous. We have a lot of people who are going to support, and we want everybody in the community to come and support, enjoy the ice cream, and we'll benefit from that too. But so many groups here have been really generous, and it's wonderful of that. They don't have to do this, but they do it to show that they're part of the community too.
The church says they have already raised $1 million so far to go towards those repairs, and they are looking for another $1 million. Spotted lanternflies have been seen in the Finger Lakes, the first sighting of these invasive species in the region. 12 News' Connor Thompson spoke with the New York State Integrated Pest Management System to learn more about how the bug could cause harm to plants and what steps you could do at home if you see one.
The spotted lanternfly, an invasive species from Asia, has been near the southern tier of New York since 2014. However, last week, for the first time ever, one was spotted in the Finger Lakes, raising concerns about how these bugs would impact one of the main economic draws, wine and the grapes that make it. According to Jacob Leeser with the New York State Integrated Pest Management, if they are left to their own, the damage to the vines would be extensive.
It will decrease the ripeness and the flavor and the color of that wine. If you didn't do anything to manage the insect, you would get very anemic grapes, but also those vines would not have the energy reserves to return the next year.
Most people won't start to notice them until the end of July, when they emerge as full-grown adults, Leeser says. The most effective means to protect vineyards are pesticides, which are typically used much later in the season, which help kill the spotted lanternfly. New York State encourages people to kill the bug if they come across it, but Leeser says that traps and vacuums are better than squishing them because of a certain byproduct they make after tapping into a plant.
The major problems of spotted lanternfly is that sugar water passes through them, comes out as honeydew, which falls down and it can encourage sooty mold, which is kind of an unsightly fungus to grow on anything under them.
Leeser says that if you do encounter one of these bugs, you can report it to the New York State Integrated Pest Management. While the state would like to try to stop the species from spreading, Leeser says the time for stopping it has passed.
With every desire to contain this, it is now at a point where it seems unlikely that we will be able to. Spotted lanternfly is a very effective hitchhiker. It can stay on the windshield of a vehicle moving 50 miles an hour down the thruway. It can hop onto a train car, lay some eggs, and those eggs will be across the country.
To report any lanternfly sightings, you can go to reportslf.com, where they will ask you for a location and a photo of the bug to confirm it was the spotted lanternfly. Connor Thompson, 12 News, Broome County.
The Burt Adams Trash Can Open is back for another year. The beloved community golf tournament that donates its proceeds to a family in need has chosen the A.J. Presto family as this year's recipients. Mariana Snow, the office manager at Burt Adams, explains her father is a generous man and the tournament started because of him. She says once they hear about something going on in the community that needs help, that's how they choose their recipients. Snow says being that the family has 4 generations that grew up in this community, there is no better feeling than helping those in the community that need it.
So this year we chose A.J. Presto and his family. As soon as we heard of AJ and his accident, we knew we had to help as a family. AJ is dating a girl named Melissa, and she's actually one of our family members. So we are so honored to be able to help his family in this time of need. We are so lucky that we have generous donations and sponsorships that help us every year raise money for a great cause.
This year's Trash Can Open will be taking place on September 13th. You can donate money or raffle baskets to the Burt Adams building in Shenango Bridge. They are also still looking for whole sponsors for the tournament at the golf course in Green. Before we head anywhere, we take a look at a dry downtown from the top of the Security Mutual building. We'll have your full forecast when we return.
Bertzel Street, where I grew up. Mom was a probation officer. Dad and generations before him worked in the local factories. They taught me everything. I'm Josh Riley. Our neighborhoods have been sold out by greedy corporations and corrupt politicians. So I'm running for Congress with a promise. I'll never take a dime of corporate PAC money. I support term limits, and I approve this message because I'll take Bertzel Street's values to Congress.
For everybody who believes the care they deserve should always be within reach.
For everybody who wants to be confident about insurance for the next phase in life.
For everybody who's looking for the best ways to take care of their employees and their families.
At Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield, we're making care more accessible and affordable in more ways and for more people in our community. Because when we do that, everybody benefits. Visit excellusbcbs.com/care options to find the care you need.
Sexy, look so good, you wanna text me. Sexy, looking sexy. Here comes love in the next minute. So sexy, looking sexy. Look so good, you wanna text me.
Urgent! Wilkins RV has an immediate need for pre-owned RVs and is prepared to pay top dollar for your trade-in during their trade-in and trade-up savings event going on now. Choose from the area's largest selection of RVs priced to sell with savings up to 50% off MSRP. Visit us today or shop us online at wilkinsrv.com.
You asked and we listened. Olum's is bringing back its tent sale, now happening at our clearance center in Johnson City. From Wednesday to Saturday, get ready to score big discounts on floor samples, clearance items, and closeouts. Join us Saturday and enjoy 50-cent hot dogs, soda, and music. And don't forget to ask about our 1-year interest-free financing. Snag those bargains you've been dreaming about and shop Olum's tent sale in Johnson City.
The days are getting hotter, and nothing feels better on a summer day than a clean car. Hoffman Car Wash is offering one lucky First Alert weather viewer a free Ultimate Wash Pass. Go to WBNG.com and click on the Hoffman Car Wash button to enter. Already redeem your free car wash? No problem. You are automatically entered for a chance to win. Be sure to tune into our First Alert forecast this summer. Who knows, the perfect day to wash your car could be right around the corner.
Hoffman Car Wash. Life's better in a clean car.
We need some help.
I know. I'm going to CashNetUSA.com. And if approved, we can have the money in our account as soon as the same business day.
Go to CashNetUSA.com to apply for the money you need.
It's an adventure through inner space. Dan Smith is going subatomic to find the smallest things possible in your moment of science.
They say you can never trust an atom because they make up everything.
This week, we're shrinking down and getting literally into the heart of the matter. We've covered the periodic table and all its arrangements already, so we're just focusing on the elements as a whole. The atom is somewhat the most basic unit of all matter, and the ancient Greeks thought they were the absolute smallest things there were. But atoms also have smaller subatomic particles, positively charged protons and neutral neutrons to make up that nucleus in the center, and negatively charged electrons that orbit around. Much like the far reaches of the universe, atoms are more than 99% empty space. It might clue you in that nearly every visualization of an atom you can picture is probably wrong, including this one, though good luck finding a better one to fit on your screen. The nucleus is so concentrated that it's only about 100,000th of an atom's width, and the strong force holding those protons and neutrons together is more than 100 trillion times stronger than gravity. That's a direct quote from NASA, by the way. Atoms of different elements have a different number of protons. Carbon atoms have 6 protons and 6 neutrons in their nuclei. Helium goes 2 for 2, though hydrogen has just the 1 proton and no neutrons. That means it's one of the smallest atoms at 106 picometers wide, although helium takes top prize since its electrons are slightly closer to the nucleus. On the other end, cesium, one of the largest and nearly 6 times wider, though it also has a bunch more electrons to work with. Speaking of those electrons, they're so small that more than 1,800 of them could fit in just 1 proton. They spin so fast that it's hard to know exactly where they are, so we just kind of fudge the numbers into orbitals where they're most likely to be found. Atoms are electrically neutral, so gaining electrons makes the atom more negatively charged, and losing them makes them a positive atom. Voila, that's how you get ions. But some atoms are so unstable they simply decay and get rid of those particles, giving off energy with no outside help. That's a radioactive situation, and splitting those nuclei manually is how you achieve fission in either bombs or power plants. But wait, there's more. Protons and neutrons are themselves made up of even tinier bits. Quarks are the smallest things we know of currently, and there's 3 in every proton and neutron, with gluons staying true to their name and gluing them all together to look like a subatomic fidget spinner. We'll get into molecules and states of matter and all that at a later date, but consider this on a final note. If you cannot picture how small an atom is, your body is made of about 7 octillion of them. Maybe slightly less if you've been hitting the gym lately. For this week's Moment of Science, I'm Dan Smith.
We go from subatomic to possibly subtropical as we head outside to Chief Meteorologist Howard Manges, who's joining us from our weather deck built by Dan Brown Construction. Howard, how's it looking out there?
This is one of these days that you wish you could put in a bottle and bring out at some point throughout the year when you just need a nice summer day, because it's one of those days. It's perfect. High pressure's in control, and I don't think it gets much nicer than this really in the summertime. Let's take a look at the national map and show you why. Because high pressure is in control here throughout the Northeast, and you'll notice there's just not a lot going on here in the Great Lakes in the Northeast. There's some rain down to the southeast and along the Gulf Coast, but aside from that, coming in a little closer, there is definitely high pressure and just the fair weather cumulus clouds that are fading as we speak here, and those will lead to clear skies as we move through the evening hours here into the overnight, and it'll be cool as a result. It's pleasant. I mean, we're in the 70s right now. 76 in Owego, 75 in Ithaca, 75 in Sydney, 76 in Norwich, and we're sitting right now at the Binghamton Airport at 74 degrees. So headlines, again, this is a pretty straightforward forecast we'll get to in a second. Look at the dew points. I mean, upper 40s in Cortland, low 50s everywhere else. It's just, that is what we stress the dew point a lot in the summertime, because whether it's high or low, relatively speaking, of course, that really does drive how comfortable or uncomfortable it may be outside. So those headlines, yeah, we've got a great evening here on the way, going to translate into a beautiful night tonight. I think you may even be able to give the air conditioners a break. We also get a break from the severe threats. There's no severe weather in the forecast here for the next 3 or 4 days at least. Next week, it'll be turning much more muggy, and any little disturbance that moves through could possibly cause some storms. We'll keep an eye on that, but overall, things are looking great until we get into maybe mid next week. As far as the future track here this evening, again, clear skies will develop and then by 11 o'clock we're looking at tons of stars. Early tomorrow morning, I think it'll cool down enough that there should be some areas of fog, given especially how wet it is in some areas. But we're going to continue with bright sunshine throughout the afternoon, even through the evening. Just another beautiful day all the way across the board on Saturday. Saturday night, we're looking at clear skies, and then into Sunday afternoon, things are going to be shaping up quite nicely as well. That 7-day forecast, again, I've said it a few times here, I don't know that it gets any better than this. We've got 80s here next couple of days. We're going to warm up on Sunday. Mid-80s there. We're in the back end of the mid-80s on Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're still in the low to mid-80s. But as I mentioned, we're going to start to see that chance of some showers and maybe some storms creeping back into the forecast as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week. But at this early juncture, doesn't look like anything too concerning, but it will certainly feel a lot more like mid to late summer by next week.
Thank you, Howard. Still ahead on 12 News at 5, we talk all things money. Next, in today's CBS Money Watch report.
Tonight on WBNG Channel 12. Tonight on the Binghamton CW. Tonight on Binghamton's Me TV.
What kind of lawyer are you? An honest one.
A man is beaten to death right outside a police bar.
We keep our mouths shut. He can't touch us.
We've got to try to turn everyone away from darkness toward the light.
61st Street. New episode this Monday at 9/8 Central on the CW.
Never far from fun this summer. Choose from over 50 county and local fairs across New York State at findyourfair.com.
At Guthrie, we understand that life is busy. So when you need medications for you and your family, Guthrie pharmacies make it easy. Personalized care from our team of pharmacists, affordable prices, and convenient drive-through locations in Shenango Bridge and Johnson City. Choose Guthrie Pharmacy to get the right medications at the right time, the right way. Visit Guthrie.org.
Have you ever considered getting a walk-in tub? Well, look no further. Safe Step's best offer just got better. Now, when you purchase your brand new Safe Step walk-in tub, you'll receive a free shower package. Yes, a free shower package. And if you call today, you'll also receive 15% off your entire order. Now you can enjoy the best of both worlds, the therapeutic benefits of a warm, soothing bath that can help increase mobility, relieve pain, boost energy, and even improve sleep. Or, if you prefer, you can take a refreshing shower all in one product. Call now to receive a free shower package plus 15% off your brand new Safe Step walk-in tub.
Call now, 1-800-443-7474. There's never been a better time. That's 1-800-443-7474.
Next ET, one-on-one with Jenny Garth, remembering her 90210 co-star Shannon Doherty. Plus, we're with the Marvel stars taking over Comic-Con.
It's a team effort.
Next ET.
Tonight at 7 on WBNG.
I'm Ashley Soriano. Watch me weekdays from 5 to 7 on 12 News This Morning.
game performers went on strike at midnight after contract talks broke down over artificial intelligence protections. The work stoppage impacts more than 2,500 voice and motion capture actors represented by SAG-AFTRA. The union says there are concerns that AI could be used to replicate actors' performances with no consent or compensation. Gaming companies say they're disappointed but prepared to resume negotiations. According to an Ohio State Supreme Court, customers who order boneless wings should not expect them to be without bones. It stems from a case brought on by a man who says he developed medical problems after a tiny bone fragment became lodged in his throat after he ate boneless wings at a restaurant in 2016. He sued the restaurant for negligence and breach of warranty, but the Ohio justices ruled that boneless wings refers to cooking style and that it's common knowledge that chickens have bones. And a major shakeup is coming to Southwest Airlines. Starting sometime next year, the company will allow travelers to buy assigned seats, ending its 5 decades-long practice of open seating. Southwest says it will release more details on the change in the coming weeks. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Chanel Call.
Just ahead on 12 News at 5:30. French security officials are on high alert ahead of the start of this year's Olympic Games. We tell you why coming up. But before we head anywhere, we look one more time at downtown Binghamton